Thank you very much. Thank you,
Okay. So, the art of vibe coding, or how to build apps when you have no idea how to build apps. Now, this is me. I'm a founder at Chuff Coaching. As I said, I coach developers and engineers in everything outside of writing the code. So that's all the go-to-market stuff in design so that they can build and monetize their apps. I've done this. Oh, wait, hang on. I have done this. I've been in tech for about 10 years now. I've run my own business for the past 5, where I've been a startup consultant helping people to get their apps into the world. So I've had a lot of experience in. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I forgot.
I've had a lot of experience in building apps, shipping them into the world, and getting users in and monetizing the whole thing. So, what is vibe coding? What we have to know from here is that we have to understand really 2 things, which is what is an app and what does AI do? Now, an app we can really kind of conceptualize as a bunch of files, and that's all it is. A bunch of files with a bunch of text in it. If you're on Mac, you can go to your applications folder, find an application, right-click it, and go show the package contents, and you will see a bunch of files with a bunch of text inside it. And that's all an application is. So when a developer is building an app, they take these files, they open them up, they add things, they change things, they delete things, and then they upload them so that you can go off and download it to your computer or phone or whatever device, whether that be from the App Store, Google Play Store, or even on the web. You're just copying files down and that runs as an app. So the second part, what is AI? And what I want to talk about specifically is what is a large language model. What is this thing doing? And we know ChatGPT and all those things. What we do is we come along and we put an input bit of text in, which is our prompt. And that's very natural language. We just say, okay, this is what I want. It goes into the model to be processed, and that's just like a word prediction engine, essentially. And what we get out of it is text. Fantastic, brilliant. That's a very quick overview of what's an app and what does AI do. Now, if we bring those 2 things together, we've got apps, which are just a bunch of files with a bunch of text inside it. We've got this AI, which is generating text. When we put these 2 things together, then we get AI app development. So AI in app development means using prompts to generate text for the files. That is the app. In other words, it looks like this. So prompt, get text, put it into files. Those files get uploaded. You've got yourself an app. Fantastic stuff. Now, what if we just forget the middle bit, right? It's still there, but it's inconsequential to what we're trying to do. It's not really something we're going to focus on. We're just going to let it happen in the background. And then that way, we can go from the prompt to our app. And when we want to change something in our app, we just go back to the prompt. This is vibe coding. Okay, so what does this look like? Let's see it in action with some screenshots. I'm kind of glad I didn't do the live one because they're in the internet. So I open up Gemini and I set it to canvas mode. This gives you the app on one side, your prompts on the other side. And all I've done is build something very, very simple. Build me an app that is a counter and a countdown timer, so it counts down for 5 minutes. And as you hit a button, the counter goes up, but then the countdown timer gets reset. And you can see, very natural language, very explicit as well, I'm being very clear in what I'm saying. And this is what I get. You get the thing. The thing happens. You say the thing and you get the thing. Brilliant, fantastic. But this is a little big. I don't quite like the size of this because I want this in the corner of my screen when I'm working so I can just count the number of things I do when I've got repetitive tasks. So what do? I just go back to the prompt and I write in the next instruction. And I say make it half the size. And it becomes half the size. Fantastic. Brilliant. But, not loving the blue. So maybe purple with a bit of a gold accent. And there it is. And that's all we're doing. Natural language, into these systems and basically say, hey, this is what your app looks like. And you're going to get into this loop, okay? You're going to prompt, that's going to create an app. You're going to note your changes, and then you're just going to go prompt again. And you're going to go through this cycle again and again and again and again, iterating and iterating until you get the functionality that you desire, you get the interface that you desire, and you get your outcome that you desire. So how are you going to do this? That's sort of a big question. There's sort of two ways of approaching this. You get the all-in-one solutions, Lovable, Replit. Those are just, it takes care of everything for you, basically. Those do come at a cost for credits and the amount you can prompt. I don't know what those numbers are exactly, but I'm sure somebody in this room knows that, so definitely try and find somebody. The other way is just using generic LLMs. So just using ChatGPT, Gemini, this will just give you that code, give you that text. But you do have to do the file management yourself. You have to put it in the files, run the app. So you need to know a little bit to get there. And some tips. One, don't be ambitious, right? Tonight you're not going to rebuild Instagram. It's not going to happen. So manage your expectations. Two, work in small increments. It's quite tempting to sort of throw a very large scope at the technology and say, well, what's going to come out? But this is a predictive model, it's a statistical model. So as much as one prompt may well give you a very good success, that same prompt might give you a massive failure. And trying to go backwards from there, there's been a lot of very expensive stories saying exactly that. Focus on one job to be done, one flow, one feature. If you try again, put too much into it, what you might find is trying to do two features at once is that you build one and one feature works and then the second feature doesn't, so you try and prompt to fix that, but that in turn breaks the first one and you end up bouncing between the two. Again, a very expensive problem to have if you're paying for credits. Be as descriptive as possible. I always find that describing what I want, almost to an extent that I'm trying to explain it to a 5-year-old. When I click this button, then this thing will happen, blah, blah, blah. And being very, very, very specific helps that predictive model give you the results that you want. One tip, which is just generally, I think, good for, I know there's a few designers and I spoke to someone in UX, I find when I'm putting together interfaces, it's a lot easier to go, if you're intending to use this on mobile, it's easier to go to mobile and up than go from desktop and down. That second one will make you very angry, give you a lot of grey hairs, don't want to do that when you throw your laptop out the window. And lastly, the most important tip is have fun, right? We're here, we're going to create something, we're going to make something. It is a creative process. An app is merely the ultimate expression of a problem we choose to solve and how we believe it should be solved. That's all we're doing here. So enjoy the creative process, enjoy playing around with things, enjoy breaking things, enjoy making things that don't work. It's all part of the process. But hopefully this is a means of you expressing yourselves and the problems that you want to solve. And this is me. So if you want to find me, I'm on TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, all the places, at Chuffdom if you want to find me. And that's my website. If you want to come say hello and do all the things, come chat. I'm always very, very chatty. Thank you very much.